Yeah, we're very grateful to the Coast Guard, yes my brother, for delivering 8 packages to Treasure Beach. I'm going to try and get out there and to advocate for other villages like Parati and Galleon Beach, which we know also has tremendous need. So we just have to all be working together as one right now. But thank you so much to the government of Jamaica and the Coast Guard. Thank you. We love you. We're going to make it through this. Bless.
JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Man found shot to death inside car in South Manchester. Police in Manchester investigating the circumstances surrounding the shooting death of a man whose body was discovered inside a motor car in Pusey Hill on Thursday afternoon. According to reports, about 3:15 p.m., residents heard a series of loud explosions and summoned the police. Upon arrival, lawmen found the body of a man slumped over the steering wheel of a Toyota Fielder motor car with gunshot wounds. The victim was not yet been identified. He is described as being of dark brown complexion, stout build, approximately 6 feet 6 inches tall, and believed to be of Indian descent. He was dressed in a grey merino, grey pants, and blue sneakers. Investigations are ongoing. Decomposed body with head wounds found on Salpon Road, Portmore. Police in Portmore, St. Catherine, are probing the circumstances surrounding the discovery of a man's body along the Salpon Roadway on Wednesday morning. Reports indicate that around 11:30 a.m., passers-by stumbled upon the body and alerted the authorities. Upon arrival, law enforcement officers found the remains in an advanced state of decomposition. Investigators said the body bore what appeared to be wounds to the head. The scene was processed, and the body was moved to the morgue for a post-mortem examination as police work to determine the man's identity and the cause of death. Police seek to allay fears after group carrying aid robbed. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF is trying to alleviate fears after a group was robbed while transporting aid to affected communities after Hurricane Melissa. The incident has been circulating on social media platforms. Messages circulating on social media claim a group was held at gunpoint and robbed of $300,000 of relief supplies in Holland Bamboo in St. Elizabeth last week. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake has confirmed the incident, but said no other cases have been reported to the police.
Even myself, it has looped back to me several times, the very same incident, and some amount of panic of giving an impression of a wanton increased case of robberies and stuff like that. But we have no such information. I have personally been on the road, and I've been in this space several times traversing from Kingston, and there is no evidence of that.
Last Friday, police had to fire warning shots in Black River's frustrated residents looted the commercial enterprises.
I believe that these are not persons who would normally have looted, but in a crisis situation, people need water, people need food. They will seek to get that to survive. And so, thankfully, we responded. Not just the JTF, but the government has responded. And relief items have been reaching people. So we just want to use the opportunity to ask members of the public to just exercise a little patience and just give us some time. Relief will get to you. We have not relented.
Government to help small community shops to reopen.
As I toured through Jamaica, and I intend to go and visit some more of the areas that are hit, but I had to break that to make sure that the organization and strategy and policy is effective. What is clear is that local commerce has been badly hit. The local shops are closed. The local pharmacies are closed. Markets are closed. We need to get those stood up. The private sector has a role to play in that, and I see where they have started, getting the gas stations open, ensuring that the large distributors are open, the large supermarkets and wholesales are open, especially in the urban areas. I like that. But I also want the small shop in Adelphi or in Spring Mount or wherever else, that those shops reopen. Now, they can't reopen for one main reason. They don't have electricity. That's one. And the second is that supplies can't get to them. The distributive trade, which, by the way, is an incredible logistics operation. They supply thousands of shops every day with trucks going all over Jamaica. That has been hit. And they can't call to place orders. And some of them can't access cash. So I've asked the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce to develop a plan to support the small shops in communities right across Jamaica to get them up and running. One of the first things that we have done is we have identified some generators, and we're going to make those generators available we're going to start with 50 in the most impacted and remote communities. We will loan them the generators, but of course there will be some requirements for compliance issues and to ensure that they are established operations that we can enter into cooperation with. So of course we would have to verify that they are a legitimate operation, so we would ask the JPs, the police and other established persons in the area to vouch for their credibility, and we're going to ask the Jamaica Business Development Corporation to lead that along with the DBJ.
Coordination of relief bolstered by support from UN Ops. The government's coordination of relief in response to Hurricane Melissa will be bolstered by support from the United Nations Office of Project Service.
Last week, Sunday, I had a call with the UN Secretary General. The UN Secretary General is a friend of Jamaica. He has visited me a few times. We're always working closely together on climate change, on financing for development. And he does have a special place in his heart for Jamaica. And I said to him, what we needed was the best-in-class logistics capabilities. And within a few days, in fact, yesterday I had a meeting with the Deputy Secretary General in charge of these kinds of operations from UN Ops. And they are mobilizing a full team that will come and support the logistics and management efforts of ODPEM. So yes, we have capabilities, but as I have said, no matter what capability you thought you had, when you are hit by a Category 5 storm, right, you must get even greater and better capabilities. And so UN Ops is here. I know they have had several meetings with private sector, I believe, civil society, and they will be embedded in ODPEM. And the idea is, after this experience, the technical know-how and capabilities will be transferred to ODPEM. So we are expecting that after this, ODPEM will be even stronger in terms of its ability to manage large-scale disasters.
90,000 families in Western Jamaica impacted by Hurricane Melissa. Approximately 90,000 families in Western Jamaica were directly affected by the passage of Hurricane Melissa on October 28. Newly appointed Director General at ODPEM, Commander Alvin Gale, gave the update on Thursday during a special press briefing on Hurricane Melissa recovery at Jamaica House in St. Andrew.
The damage assessment indicates that over some 120,000 buildings in Western Jamaica have lost their roofs. This directly impacts some 90,000 families. We're acutely aware that many communities are still marooned, cut off by flooding and landslides. I can report that through the efforts of the Jamaica Defence Force, the National Works Agency, the Jamaica Fire Brigade, and others, we successfully re-established access to many of these communities. However, as of this morning, there is some indication that some 27 communities remain marooned, primarily in the difficult-to-reach areas of St. Elizabeth, St. James, and Trelawney. The ODPEM, alongside other local agencies and with the assistance from our international partners, are making every effort to conclude on the initial damage assessment reports, the rapid needs assessment to determine the full extent of the damage across Jamaica. This will help the government to understand the needs as we prepare to transition to a recovery phase. A number of shelters have been closed as persons are returning to their communities, whilst the data from some shelters is limited due to communication challenges. However, as of 10 p.m. last evening, a total of 184 shelters remain open. some 2,487 persons have been displaced into these shelters, primarily from the St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, and Hanover areas. It is our commitment that no one will be forgotten, as the ODPEM is coordinating through the JDF and our international partners, airlift, as well as dedicated ground teams to deliver food, water, medical supplies to these locations. We will not stop until every single person who is affected is reached. A massive relief operation is in full swing. If the question on the minds is that, is help coming, the answer is yes. A unified team is carrying out this effort. Through the efforts of the ODPEM, the MLSS, the JDF, over some 36,000 food packages have been delivered. If there's anyone out there who requires assistance or has critical information to share, please contact the ODPEM. Our teams are standing by 24/7 to respond. The ODPEM's National Emergency Operations Center, contact number 876-906-7668, 876-967-1105. Also toll-free access, 888-225-5637. You can also email the ODPEM at neoc@odpem.org.jm. You can also follow us on all our social media pages. In closing, I want to reiterate that the ODPEM is running a 24-hour operation. Every agency of government is in lockstep. The private sector and our international partners are by our side. We are making progress every day in restoring power, telecommunications, water, clearing roads, and delivering aid. As the Director General, my message to you is this: we understand that these have been some challenging times, and we acknowledge the challenges faced. Please know that the ODPEM's response is one that is committed, coordinated, and determined. We are fully engaged in a comprehensive multi-agency effort across the island to provide effective relief and restore services whilst prioritizing the country's needs. We will persist until every Jamaican is met. Thank you, and may God bless Jamaica.
JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.